Hello, welcome to the new series. I am Julius Cartwright, and this is the Equity Movement.
I can't stop.
Welcome back to the Equity Movement TV show. I am your host, Bridget, and I have with me special guest, Brian Holyfield. He is an expert real estate investor. Welcome to the show, Brian.
Thank you.
We are going to jump right in. And Brian, could you tell us a little bit about your background in real estate investing and how you got started?
Over the years, like I said before, I've been around real estate my whole life. It got to the point, I think it really resonated in 2008 in the meltdown. I actually worked for a company after school, and I had built wealth for them. And when the market melted down, and it was a decision of their family eating or mine, guess who won that battle? So I said, never again do I want to put myself in that position. And even though I didn't really want to follow my dad in the real estate thing at that time, I gravitated toward it because I knew it worked. And then as I got into it, as I said, I bought my first home at 24, and then the light bulb went off. And then I said, okay, if I buy this building, I could live in this building and rent other units. And then we went from that point to where I really want to get into real estate. So I got a real estate license. And since then, I have been a realtor. I started investing, and then I actually felt good about it. And so I became an advocate, and I wanted to help with financial literacy. I wanted to also educate others on how to do it. And then I ran into NAREB, National Association of Real Estate Brokers, which is Democracy in Housing, and they're advocates of home ownership and financial literacy. And through that, I continued to grow that part of my business as an advocate, as a real estate investor, and then slowly became a mentor. And my mentorship now is more give back to the community. I sit on a nonprofits board as chairman emeritus. I've been past president of a local chapter for NAREB. I'm instrumental in my community and my church, and it all stems around financial literacy. Even to the point where I got an insurance license, because as much wealth as we create, we also have to protect it. So I've kind of built my life and my career around creating wealth in real estate.
Wow, that's amazing. And I love how one thing has kind of led to the next. So it's like you grew up around it, you weren't sure about it, but then you kind of saw how it could work firsthand. But not only that, you're taking it and now mentoring others and really being an advocate for helping people to learn how to invest and really get involved in real estate. Tell me a little bit more about the real estate investment side. When did you said you purchased your first place when you were younger. How did you know it's the right thing for you, and talk a little bit more about the whole investing experience?
Well, if you look at it, it's just investment. If I knew it was right for me, when I put my savings in a bank account and I looked at that statement and it said, you're going to get, I don't even think it was 1% of the money I put in the bank. And then I okay, so based the rule of 72, you take the interest rate and divide it by 72, that tells you how long it's going to double your money. That's a long time. And so when I looked at the investment side of it and the return on that investment and realized that it actually put me in a position to double my money in 7 to 8 years. So 7 to 8 years or 72 years, which one works better?
So a lot of people won't have the advantage that you have of growing up around people who had knowledge, like your parents were investors as you were growing up. What advice would you give for somebody who is starting out? How do you even get started into investing?
First and foremost is, if that's the passion you have, is to educate yourself. Educate yourself and then surround yourself with trustworthy people. Like your realtors, your lender, your sphere of influence, a mentor, you know, and that will help guide you, because without that strong, trustworthy core, it's hard to really go out there. Some people say, it's easy, I'm gonna do it on my own, but you really need to have the trustworthy people around you.
Yeah, and real estate, I guess, can be so fragile in the sense that if you make the wrong decision or you make the wrong purchase or you do things, it would be an expensive investment to experiment on. So really having that solid team of experienced professionals around you that is going to really help you succeed is extremely important.
It's very important, because they've dedicated their life to be the expert, to know the market trends, to understand the market trends. They have the data in front of them, so why not utilize that? Until you get to the point where you really understand your market space, your goals, and then it's easier for you to direct yourself. But until you get to that point, I would recommend everybody to align themselves with those core pieces as well as a mentor.
Join the movement. Engage, empower, educate. Join the movement. Equity Movement 247.com.
Did you feel that you had a mentorship, I guess, through your father growing up, and that's how you were able to be successful in this, or did you seek outside mentors as well?
I had my father as a mentor, and then as a realtor, and then I also took the time to study, understand the market trends, and then make strong decisions based on that.
Yeah. So really you can avoid a lot of mistakes by surrounding yourself by this powerful team of knowledge and experience and mentorship. Talk a little bit about your mentorship program and kind of how you would mentor someone into investments.
Well, first and foremost, we want to see what their goals are, what level they are, whether they're a brand new investor or they're a seasoned investor or they're looking to expand a portfolio. So it's going to come in different directions. So I would say in that question, we might want to start in different levels. If you're a brand new investor, how much capital do you have? If you have no capital, then there's going to be some steps that you have to do, because I don't really see, and it's possible, but there's not likely that you're going to be able to attain a property with no money.
Sure.
But there's ways to leverage, and there's ways to leverage that core team and partnerships to help you obtain that, but you're still going to need that base.
Coming soon, Equity Movement Radio Show, live in studio, your #1 source for financial resources. EquityMovement247.com.
Shifting gears a little bit, you always hear about people flipping houses in real estates, and it's kind of somewhat trendy thanks to HG, TV, if I can say that. Talk about an experience where maybe you had a deal go bad, and what you learned from it, and how you grew from that experience.
Deal going bad. Okay, well, I think the deals are going back because you already have the numbers. But in those television shows and everything you see, and they document some of them, document all.
Yeah.
You can easily walk in a house and you don't have a magnifying glass, so you don't know what's behind that
Yeah.
wall. And the older that house is, the more dynamic behind that wall may become. And you may open that wall like, I don't even know what that is. So
Exactly.
it's just a matter of, you can still, those are experiences that you're going to gain over time. So I would say personally, I bought a house built in 1947, and it looked great on paper, and we still made out okay. Not what we expected, because as we started opening the house up and we started changing items on the house, it was almost like an old erector set. Every time we touched something, it snapped and broke.
Oh no.
And so it just continued and continued. Next thing you know, I'm out at the main of the street because the pipes are shattered all the way through the property. So you really, and that's once again, that core team. And in that core team, you need a strong contractor, rehab specialist that's going to help you avoid some of those pit holes. But obviously, you're not going to avoid all of them.
Correct.
That's the part of the risk side of investments.
Yeah, investing is still taking a risk, especially in real estate. But having that solid team and that mentorship really helps you to avoid some of those or kind of take the shortcuts.
Yeah.
As far as being a team.
I would say not a shortcut, but a
Okay.
more calculated risk.
There you go. I like that, calculator risk. That's a little bit of a more educated way to say it. So somebody with no capital, let's jump back to that. If they don't have a lump sum of money, you did mention that it's still possible. Is partnering the way to go, or how would you suggest someone start in that route?
Partner can be a way.
Okay.
If you feel you have a very strong investment, you can reach out to investors. They're hard to find, but sometimes you have investors that just want to be equity partners. They don't want to get their hands dirty. You may have a family member that has a lump sum of cash and they want to do a little bit more with that money than they're actually getting in their bank or whatever vehicle they have, whether it's annuity or not. So you always have those avenues once you've done all your homework. And the more homework you've done, the stronger your core team is to help you document it, helps in that way. There's also a facet called wholesaling. I've done a deal where I've actually went to a person that wanted to sell a property. I didn't have all the money to buy the property, but I knew I could find somebody to buy that property because it was a great deal. And I literally was able to put $500 up to secure that property through an earnest money deposit. And then within a matter of 2 weeks, I was able to sell my interest in that property to someone else and make $10,000.
Wow. So it's really kind of knowing the different avenues and the different ways you can
Correct.
invest.
And that's where the mentorship comes in.
Yes.
Priceless almost.
Yeah, I can see where that's extremely important. We're about to take a break. When we come back, we're going to dive into more about investments, a landlord versus fix and flip, and what Brian's takes are. We'll be right back.